I'm a butt. I'm a butt. I'm a butt. I finished eating my sandwich.
Yeah, I can hear the peanut butter.
Howdy, roundabout, all you shaky goose egg boys, and happy Valentine's Day almost. My name is Thomas. I almost said my name is Jake. My name is Thomas, and with me is my co-host Jake, who is not me.
Thomas, will you be my Valentine's?
Look at the time.
All right, Kyle, that one was for you. 3 years in a row, baby.
Alone?
Yeah, no, well, we'll recap.
Sorry if you hear me smacking. I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm not really sorry though,
Well, they would have already heard it,
because I'm
depending
hungry.
on if you leave that part in the
And
beginning.
all I did this morning, I made eggs and rice for breakfast.
Eggs and rice?
Yeah,
What kind of rice?
just rice.
Well, there's okay.
Um, and I didn't eat a lot of it, so I haven't had very much to eat today. But today we're going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. Big Blue Blur himself, almost exactly on the 1 year anniversary is when this episode releases.
Oh, by a day.
Yep, because it came out. For those of you that don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog came out on Valentine's Day 2020.
Which we went and saw together.
We did, I think. Did
Did
we
was
see
it
it?
on Valentine's Day?
I don't know.
I know we saw it together because I remember that it was cold and you were in the parking lot and you were dancing.
I don't remember that, but I know we saw it. Yep. It might have been the last movie I saw in theaters, but I don't think it was.
Harley Quinn
I don't know when Birds of Prey came out.
after.
Anyways,
So that was the last movie.
We're doing Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Woo.
But we're also kind of a little role reversal here this week because from what I understand, Jake just finished the movie less than an hour ago, something like that. And I watched this movie 2 days ago, but I've also watched two movies in between seeing this movie, and I don't usually do that. I don't like to do that. But I did this time, so we'll see. We'll see how good my brain is. And I know I've said that the past couple of weeks, and my brain has probably had a varying degrees of success, but this is going to be different this week. I don't know what Jake is doing. Is that like the Sonic theme song?
Yeah, that's the Green Hill one.
Oh, I never played. I never played Sonic. So.
Oh, it's interesting. It's really weird. And I think it was Game Grumps who pointed this out, but they were playing it. They were playing the original Sonic, and they were like, "Why is he so fast if you have to go slow to like win this game?"
To do the loop de loops?
No, well, like if you're like running super fast, then like you get hit a bunch.
Sorry, guys. I have a water bottle, so it's gonna make some noise.
That was a loud gulp. But they were like, in order to like actually win the game, you kind of have to go slow.
Yeah, this is going to be a tutorial video on ASMR and Foley sound effects, so pay attention, all you shaggy goose egg boys. But okay, recap. The movie opens and he's like, "Hi, I'm Sonic. Ha! I'm going really fast. You don't know what's going on. Oh, well, I guess I should slow down. Let's go back to the beginning."
And then he goes,
yeah, he does. He makes our little rewind noise. And then he's like, "I'm a little kid and I don't go to school because I don't have school and there's no school bus. Longclaw is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that means she's gonna die." But pause, recap. We don't actually see Longclaw die. So I think Longclaw will be back in the second one.
I hope so.
But that's not in this movie. So unpause.
And the guys look like Knuckles the Echidnas.
Yes, they're there. So then Longclaw's like, "Go through this portal because you're really fast and no one needs to see you ever." And he's like, "Okay." So he runs through the portal and then he thinks she's gonna die. So he's like, "Oh no!" And he goes back, but he's not fast enough and he can't make it through the ring. So then it fast forwards 10 years to this guy who's scanning turtles on the road. He's like, "Haha, where's the fire, buddy?" And the turtle's going like less than 1 mile an hour or something like that. But then Sonic runs past and it's like 275, and the dude's like, "What the heck?" And so basically what's been going on is Sonic has been just palling around this world for 10 years, which is Earth, by the way. and he's been finding stuff, but he's real lonely, and he doesn't like being lonely. So he's like, he goes to this baseball park, and he's like, I'm watching these kids play baseball. Oh, that looks like fun. So then at night, he's like, I'm gonna go play baseball, and he does it, and then he's like, man, I'm so alone, and then he runs around in circles really, 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 really fast, and then he makes all the power go out, and everyone's like, well, that's not supposed to happen. So then Tom, the donut lord, who's the guy who was clocking the turtles earlier,
Also known as Tim by his
dentist, yes,
dentist.
but it's gone on so long, it feel awkward to correct him now. I don't know why I brought him up. Anyways, oh, he's like the cop. So like they're like, hey man, something's wrong with our power, and he's like, yeah, this is weird. And so then the army's like, we need to get Dr. Robotnik, and
No,
then
Dr. Robotsky's.
the other army is like, no, we don't like him, and then the other army is like, yeah, we don't like him, but then the head army is like, no, we need him because he did all these things that you don't even know happened. He didn't make them happen.
Actor?
Who was like the head general?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Also, Tom, I think this already happened. Tom only has 2 apps on his phone, and one of them is Olive Garden because
When you're there, your family,
Yes.
and that's not true. Actually, he has only the ones that came with plus Olive Garden.
oh, well,
Get your facts right.
anyways, so then Robotnik shows up and he's like,
Robotsky's.
hey, Major, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm in charge now. Let's go look for this footprint. Oh, we found the footprint. And then, hold on. Excuse me. Better out than in, I always say. Sorry, I mean the
It
sandwich.
smells like peanut butter.
Yeah, I mean the sandwich, bro. And then they're like, we got to catch him. And I got all these egg bots. And then
That's what came from his sack. What does he say?
something about Charlotte's Web.
Well, that too.
But that'll be important later.
Those eggs came from his sack.
And then so Sonic runs into Tom's house and he's like, oh no, I gotta go to the mushroom world. And he's gonna throw a ring out. And then Tom's like, get out of here, raccoons, I got a tranquilizer gun. And then you shoot Sonic and Sonic says, meow. And then Tom's shirt says San Francisco. So Sonic throws the ring and it lands on San Francisco. And so then all the other rings fall in through the portal and go to San Francisco. And then so Tom puts Sonic in a cage and Robotnik comes in. He's like, I work for the power company. And then Tom's like, no, you don't, because my friend works for the power company. And no, he doesn't. He works for the other company. And the power company always does the work outside. Then Robotnik's like, who's what? And gets in the house. But Sonic is hiding in the attic, I think, at this point.
Oh, yeah, he's a little ball.
He's like, I'm a ball. And then he falls downstairs. And then Robotnik sees him and goes, woo!
Jesus Christ.
That probably just peaked the audio. And then and then I think Tom punches him and Robotnik falls down, and then Sonic and Tom runs away, and then Robotnik's friend is like, "You okay?" And he's like, "Why didn't you follow them? You idiot! You know I'm the smartest person in the room. It's so hard. Everyone else is so stupid." And then Tom's like, "Just run, and then you'll get there." And Sonic's like, "Okay, I ran into the ocean, and now there's a fish on my head. So you're gonna drive me to this place." And then Tom's like, "Okay." So they go to the place, and there's like this bar. And Sonic is like, I'm making a bucket list because we're all going to die. And then Tom's like, okay, let's help you do the stuff on your bucket list. So they do the stuff on the bucket list and they have a Quicksilver scene. And the song Boom, Boom, Boom by X Ambassadors plays. And then they're like, I'm going to go to the hotel room. And then Sonic eats a bunch of chili dogs and then farts. And then Tom says, you might want to check your fur on that one, buddy. That's a very integral part to the plot. That's why I made it into the recap. And this whole time, Robotnik's probably chasing them. I don't remember. Then they're on the road the next day, and Robotnik shows up, and he's like, I got an egg that turns into a smaller egg, that turns into a smaller egg, that turns into a smaller egg. And then they're like, oh, no, it's stuck to my hand. Oh, I got it on the rock. No, just kidding. And then it blows up. And then, it blows up. That'll be important later. And then I don't know. They make it to San Francisco, and Tom's wife's sister is like, honey, put on my Fitbit. That way I can get my steps in. But that happens later. That didn't happen yet. And then they're like, what's in your hand, Tom? Oh, it's a blue alien? Okay. So then they get to some smelling salts. And then the little girl's like, here's some shoes, Sonic. We have the same shoe size. You're welcome. And he's like, no one's ever done this for me before.
This is the first gift I've ever got.
And then slightly before that, Robotnik finds a quill in his assistant's jacket, and his assistant says, I thought you'd want a latte. And he says, of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them. That probably also peaked the audio, and that might not have been understandable. But if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Also, Robotnik's egg got eaten by a T-Rex.
What's the song that he plays?
I wrote it down. Something about evil. The world is evil.
Evil woman. Na,
Um,
na, 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 na.
and then he shows up and he's like, "It's a flight suit." And then Tom's like, "It's not. It's there is a kid in there, but it's not my kid." And Sonic's like, "It's dark in here." And that's when they're going up to the roof. And they go to the roof, and Sonic pushes them off the building. But then Robotnik hits the super speed mode, and so then Sonic it's like Tom and Pretzel Lady are gonna die, but oh, they didn't because Sonic threw the ring, and now Tom's gonna help give a cow birth. And then Sonic's like, I'm running through the city, and this is where the movie started. And now this guy's chasing after me. Let's go to China and Paris and all the other places on Earth. I'm wasting a lot of rings doing this for no apparent reason. And then they go back to Green Hills, and then Robotnik is like, "See, this is what you get for having friends. You get dead." And then Tom's like, "Yeah, but he's my friend." So then Sonic wakes up and is like, "Booyah!" and then punches him a bunch, and then kicks him to the Mushroom World. And then Sonic stays, and the government gives Tom an Olive Garden gift card. And then Sonic lives in Tom's attic. The end.
Nope, there's 2 more parts.
And then Robotnik is like, "Reconnaissance!"
Okay,
And then Tails is like, "I have 2 tails." And then the end.
there we go.
But that's all
Alright.
set up for the next one.
I don't have any more hearing. It's gone.
Good.
I'll be honest. I didn't listen to anything you said because I was looking at.
I was
Sonic
talking
memes,
at the speed of sound.
but I was looking at Sonic memes too.
What does that guy call him? The Blue Devil?
I think so.
He's got a meme.
What's his
Crazy
name?
Carl?
Crazy Carl. That's important. Crazy Carl.
Why? Because he's Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th?
That's exactly right. Remember, Crazy Carl's right.
Who's
Yeah,
secretly
Crazy Carl.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's secretly Jason, who's secretly Jason's dad.
Exactly. But I was looking at memes because I think that's what this movie's about, Thomas. You see,
Are you going to keep talking?
well, I was waiting to, because the only problem with going faster than the speed of light is you always live in darkness.
Yeah.
And I think that that's true.
Why?
Oh, you really put me on the spot here.
Well, you brought it up.
Well, we'll get there.
No,
We'll
why?
get there. Just because it is.
No, you got to explain right now.
All right, let's see if I can see my notes.
Chibba, 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 chibba.
Okay, so I wanted to get into this a little bit later, but
Right now.
basically, Sonic doesn't have time to stop and smell the roses,
Yeah.
and that's why.
Yeah.
And like all right. So Sonic is going so fast that he doesn't have time to enjoy, what he's got going on.
What does he have got going on?
Well, again, look. It's hard. Okay, my brain isn't flowing yet. It's like an engine from the 70s, where you gotta turn it on, and oil wasn't as cool as it is now, right? So it was super sludgy, and so it's like cold, and so it doesn't work as well. It's kind of like grinded through the engine, right? But as it heats up, it lubricates better, and it softens a little bit, and it moves quicker. So my brain is like that engine that just started.
See, all you Shaggy Goose Egg boys, this is a lesson. This is a lesson for all of you. Don't be like Jake. Be like me, because I'm ready.
Well, I feel like we're opposite though. Is that like you are good in the beginning, and then I take it home.
Yeah, because I ran out of stuff to say.
And then my brain is lubricated.
Okay,
by that
so
point.
Watching this movie last year.
Oh wait, how many times have you seen this since we watched it?
This was my 3rd viewing.
Okay, I think this is my 5th.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why? If you watched it so many
Honestly, this movie gets better every time I watch it.
Okay.
Like Step Brothers or Talladega Nights for you.
Yeah, Step Brothers gets worse every time.
All right, go ahead.
So, this movie, in my opinion, kind of led to the conception of this podcast, I think. Because, like, we watched it.
The Irishman.
No, The Irishman is just a think about it.
Oh, okay. Think about it.
And we did it! Which, if you don't know what that's from,
Go
we
watch The
don't
Irishman.
either.
I do. I found it.
No, we don't.
Okay. Never mind. I didn't find it.
Well, because, like, we watched Sonic the Hedgehog, and then everyone's like, Sonic the Hedgehog, get out of here. Well, as a matter of fact, when I was watching it this time, someone was like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" I was like, "Probably gonna watch Sonic the Hedgehog," and they were like,
Who? So I can beat him up.
"I'm not telling
Was it
you on
Gray?
air."
Dude, I'll
Um,
kill him. Gray, I'm coming for you.
um, and they were like, oh, "Sonic, haven't you seen that already?" And I was like, "Yeah, but
Whoa. Okay, so there's multiple things wrong with that. Number one, the fact that they're questioning you for watching Sonic, that's a huge problem. Number two, the fact that they're like, hey, did you watch that already? That's another huge problem. They obviously haven't seen any movie ever that we've done on the podcast. Because every movie, what's a word?
bananas. That's a word.
Every word bananas, at least 2 viewings. One for the initial.
Merits? Is that what you're thinking
Yeah,
of?
there you go. Maybe. But every film, even The Room, even well, what's the other movie that we watched? Dungeons and Dragons. Every movie merits at least 2 viewings.
That was last week's.
One for that's what we recorded last week. Or is it coming out before?
Yeah.
One for the initial experience of the film, and at least another one for an analyzation of the film. Really, I'd probably say each film requires 3, but that's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
So whoever said that,
Um,
back to what you were saying.
well, so like no, my point was kind of what Jake's saying, but not really. Is that Sonic is a movie that on the surface you see Sonic the Hedgehog and you're like, oh well, that's just get out of here, and that's the movies we talk about, baby. But after we watched that in theaters, I feel like both of us automatically had a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
Like number one, I was like, well, but like, and then we were talking with someone else. I think I won't mention him. I think his name starts with a T, and people say I look like him, so Jake knows who I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he was like, "Oh yeah, that wasn't good," and me and Jake were both like, "Yeah, it was good. What are you talking about?" And then we kept saying reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance.
But and then I think that like there was a lot to unpack because there's like the Olive Garden thing when you're there, your family, and then there's
We've already had a conversation about this movie,
kind of like a year ago,
Yeah.
and then like Robotnik is. Hold on, I thought that was gonna be burp. Wait a second. There it is.
no.
All right, better out than in.
Better out than in.
Okay, sorry, Dad. Robotnik has like I said a Napoleon complex back then, but I think it's actually like an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
But so all of that is there, but all of that's pretty surface level stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you watch this, not even looking at it analytically, it's pretty blatant that the film is like, you friends is good, man.
And I agree with that for sure. But I think that at least I know I'm going to get into a little bit of the same thing that happened with Frozen 2, at least in the sense of there's an obvious meaning, but then there's one that's like ties into it, but it's like the true meaning.
Yeah. And there's even a quote that like pretty much says this straight up during close to the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Where Sonic is talking to therapist Sonic, and he says, "Despite all these so-called friends of yours, deep down you're still rather lonely. Perhaps afraid you'll be alone forever." And so I think most people would probably latch on to that and be like, "Oh, well, that's what this movie's about." And it is. It is kind of because there's that, and like there's Tom, and there's several things throughout that are like, "Oh, that's what this is about." But I think this might be the first episode where Jake and I are actually like on the same page, because I do think that this is actually about you just need to live your life. Like I wrote down, family is the surface meaning, but the Pacino meaning is live your life. And the one thing I'm going to point to that, and then you can talk because I know you've like been like 3 times now. When Tom like first gets the phone call that he got the job or whatever, like the letter or whatever, he says, "This is all happening so fast." And so obviously I think speed and fastness is a theme of this movie. But I wrote down, life comes at you fast. Don't let it pass you by. And I think that's kind of like what you were getting at with like the don't smell the roses, or the opposite of that statement.
And I want to go back to the quote with Sonic therapist is that although I agree with what that surface meaning is, I think it actually turns into like what like this film is definitely a values film. Like it
Adam's
is,
Family Values, the movie.
it is presenting and proposing the question of what are your values. And I think that at least in this case, it is definitely a quality versus quantity argument here. Is that, you know, Therapist Sonic says, despite all these friends you have, obviously he doesn't actually, but the meaning is there. All these friends you have, and yet you're still lonely. And I think that's super important because I don't think Sonic wants a bunch of friends. I think Sonic wants a few deep and thriving relationships.
Well, honestly, he really probably just only wants one friend, and
Well,
I think like that scene with
exactly,
the relationship he builds with Tom.
exactly, and I agree with that 100%. But that's and I think this is probably why I really don't like Cyberpunk 2077.
Because it's so glitchy.
It's actually not. I'm playing on the PS4 Slim, and it's really not that glitchy. It
Which,
doesn't.
speaking of which, I think this is not related to the episode, but I think the reason the Snapchat I sent you yesterday is just because my PS4 is like the original PS4. So like the game I was playing itself
It was not Arkham
is
Knight.
not
It
glitchy,
wasn't Arkham
but
Knight.
my PS4 is.
It
Sorry,
wasn't
that was
Arkham Knight.
almost a burp, but I kept it from coming out.
It was not Arkham Knight, bro. That looked like a Flash computer game.
I saved it.
I didn't. Better than I was.
Dang it.
Um,
I tried to help you guys.
but I'm gonna compare and contrast Cyberpunk and Death Stranding, and this is actually something I super recently decided upon. Cyberpunk, we are getting, and this goes back to the sensationalism idea that we talked about in Musto. Cyberpunk is so jam packed, full
Of bugs.
of just things to do, just stuff to do to keep you occupied, and I have found myself really not enjoying it because of that. There are just like all these side quests that don't really mean anything, that are just there, like I said, to keep you occupied.
Well, I think maybe some people get upset with me for saying this, but I don't think most people will. A lot of Ubisoft games get bogged down with that also.
Yeah,
Like you can just look at the map and it's like and
it's huge, right?
I
There's
think
so
and I
much stuff
think
to
this is
explore.
probably going to point to what you're trying to get to with Death Stranding. But then you have a game like
Are
Breath of
you
the
are you about
Wild,
to are you about to take my?
possibly.
No, stop. Let me say it because
Okay.
this is me.
Okay.
All right. And like I said, there's just so many things to do, and the story is minimal. I mean, I've been playing it for 20 hours, right? And a lot of the time, I've spent maybe 7 hours of playing the story, and I'm already 50% of the way through the story.
Oh, I finished my sandwich.
Do you want more?
Maybe later.
Okay. Well, you can go make one. And I'll keep talking.
No.
All right. But then we have a game like Death Stranding, which Kojima is a
How did I not realize I finished that when I ate the last bite? Sorry, continue.
Kojima is a mastermind at games, which I didn't really understand until I beat this game. Death Stranding is a very
Death Stranding is the Walking Dead guy with the Bacta tank on his chest. That's that game.
yes, is pretty empty.
Honestly, me saying that might have confused people more than just if I hadn't said anything.
Jeez, Thomas, are you gonna let me keep talking?
Probably not.
All right, Death Stranding is such an empty game, but yet it feels so alive, so lived in. You get to really explore and experience the game, which is something that you can't do in Cyberpunk because there's just so much being thrown at your face. And the same thing, let's take a look at Red Dead Redemption 2, is that throughout the entire game, there's a lot of stuff to do, but once you beat the game and you head out into the desert, there is an entire map of like desert and like essentially nothing.
Also, Hideo Kojima also really likes Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon. So let's start a campaign to get him on the podcast and talk about that movie.
Hashtag Kojima-geddon.
Think about it.
Think about it. But my point in saying that is it's the same thing, and this happens several times throughout the movie. Well, really one in particular, when Sonic goes back, and Sonic and Tom, whose Dennis calls him Tim, goes back into the hotel room after they've been at the bar.
Yeah, and he Needs to check his fur
He
after
needs
he
to check his fur
farts.
exactly. But he
I
has
really
this
like that part.
he has this list of stuff to do, and he just wants to get it all done. So he does all of it in the span of 5 seconds. But he never really takes the time to slow down and experience each of those things, because what Sonic doesn't understand here, and I don't think it's actualized by the end of the film, at least on this level, but I think it is understood that it's actualized. Um, is that the reason that he has a bucket list is not simply to do things, but to experience them.
Okay.
Which I said that kind of roundabout, but it's true.
Howdy roundabout.
Does Sonic listen to our podcast?
Geordie LaForge, baby. That's a reference to another episode previously.
Oh, what was that?
Doesn't matter. Already happened.
But so yeah, that's my whole thing right there.
Okay.
Sonic needs to slow down. Hey man, hey, slow down. That's Radiohead.
Well, I don't know if I would say he needs to slow down, but maybe yes, because I do think that by doing the bucket list, he's trying to get the most out of life, But he also thinks he's going to be leaving Earth, pretty
That's
like
true.
within the
That's
next
true.
day. So, but also I think maybe I will agree with you on what you said, although I forgot what I was about to say. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
womp womp.
Now.
But I do have a question for you, and I feel like
Okay.
you might have just answered this. But what is the meaning of speed in this movie? I don't have an answer. It's just a question I wrote down.
That is an interesting question, and one I was not prepared to answer.
Because I think it could be that Sonic goes, like you're saying, Sonic goes too fast.
Whoa. Okay, Thomas. What if there isn't a meaning to speed? What if it's just a ruse? Because, like I said, in the Sonic game, at least in the original one, you cannot just blaze your way through the level. You have to slow down. So maybe we're getting super meta here, Thomas. In the same way that we did with We Can Be Heroes.
How do we do that?
Maybe Sonic is just this overarching series to show us that we need to slow down. Or at least savor these moments.
Okay.
That's a good question. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to think about that. Do you have any kind of do you have anything for that, or is that just a question?
No, it's just a question.
Okay. Let us know what you Shaggy Goose Egg boys think, because I do think it's a great question.
What does speed mean?
What does speed mean, and what is the purpose of speed? I guess they're kind of the same thing. But yeah, PacinoPodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think speed means. What is the purpose of speed?
Yes. So one thing I wanted to talk about in this is that Robotnik and Sonic, I think, are kind of like perfect foils for each other.
I 100%
because
agree.
they're both alone, but Robotnik chooses that life, and Sonic just kind of has it forced upon him because of what Longclaw says to him. I think I wrote it down. You have a power unlike anything I've ever seen, and that means someone will always want it. The only way to stay safe is to stay hidden. Never stop running, is what she says.
I wrote that down too.
So that
someone always wants the power. Yep.
That by itself, that's why Sonic, for the 10 years he's on Earth is like, oh, I got to stay away from everybody. But then what I think is very interesting about that is the fact that she has never stopped running. Because I wrote down somewhere, you can't outrun emotions. You can't outrun feelings. They'll always catch up to you. And I think that's seen in Sonic has stayed hidden for 10 years. Because first of all, the first time I watched this, I was like, so are we just supposed to assume that, he's been on Earth for whatever? And he just now so happens to mess it up. But I think part of that is because it's like the never stop running thing.
Yeah.
Is, he was running.
Just keep running.
But eventually, the feelings caught up to him.
Right.
And that, that scene on the baseball field when he realizes how alone he truly is. And I'll come back to emotions in a minute. But then Robotnik is like almost the complete opposite because he also doesn't have any friends, but it's not because he's running from them. It's like it feels like he's trying to run towards greatness. And I think this is seen in his Charlotte's Web quote where he says, "In the end, she leaves." Oh, I didn't write down the quote. Anyways, he says something like, "In Charlotte's Web, spoilers, she dies,
Oh
but she
yeah,
leaves an egg sac."
yeah. And then that's when he says, "And this is what was in my egg sack."
Yeah. And I think that's an important quote because to Robotnik, all that matters is his legacy.
Right.
All that matters is that he is remembered, whether it's remembered for good or remembered for bad.
Yeah, and he asks the general or whoever is there is like
Major nobody cares.
right. He asks like
Who's Dum
who
Dum Dugan in the Marvel movies, by the way.
who
Dum Dum Dugan.
who is that?
He's Dum Dum Dugan.
Who is that?
Don't worry about it.
Well, he asked him. Dr. Robotsky's asks Dum Dum Guggen, "Who cares about your accomplishments?" And to that I responded like, "Who cares about your accomplishments,
Well, yeah, and
Dr. Robotnik?"
that's what
Dr.
I'm saying
Robotsky's.
about he's alone, but he's alone because he doesn't let anyone in and he puts everyone else down.
And
Like
that's
what he says to Agent Stone about after like Tom runs away or whatever, he says, the worst thing about being the smartest person in the room is that everyone else is so stupid or
well,
something
and
like
that
that.
perfectly complements, Sonic's problem that he has.
What?
Is that Sonic is faster than everybody else.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
like that whole thing.
So he has to come down to their level. Well, I
Right.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's a perfect foil. That's another reason why Robotsky's is a perfect foil. And I was gonna add something else to that, but I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Actually, Thomas, I don't think it's that he doesn't want friends.
Robotnik?
Yeah. I think it's just and if we take a look into his past, with the bully thing, I think that people just don't understand him.
Well, I think
I'm gonna coin.
maybe it's not that he doesn't want friends, but it's like he feels the need to be superior to everyone, and in doing so, pushes them away
Okay,
because he
okay.
belittles them in the process.
I'm gonna call this the Cooper complex,
Okay.
the Sheldon Cooper complex. So because, and I will totally agree that he is smarter than everyone else. That is not in question. But I think that does alienate him in the same way that it does Sonic. It's just because when you see, and this is goes along with like existentialism and depression and that kind of thing. It's just that when everyone else is an idiot, you have a hard time connecting with everyone, or yeah, you have a hard time connecting with anyone because no one understands or sees the world in the same way that you do. And I think that's a pivotal part for relationship is just kind of having that rapport and those similarities and values and stuff. And when you don't have that, you get isolated, which then in turn you isolate yourself. And so Sheldon Cooper kind of does that, hence Cooper complex, is that, let's assume that he is right about the claim that he is, the smartest person, at least in his friend group. That he ends up alienating himself because of that. Now, granted, he still does have these friends, but as the series goes on, he definitely comes to appreciate his friends. And I think that Robotsky's is on this journey, which is especially seen when he goes. Go ahead and say that again.
I love the way you make them.
Yeah, there you go. And I think that it's seen in that because, Robotsky's claims to have no need for anyone else. But Agent Stone makes the lattes or whatever how Robotsky's loves them. And love is an emotional term. Although, we've described how love isn't an emotion, but a series of actions, blah, 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 blah. In Shrek 4, Shrektober, go check it out, hashtag Shrektober, Al Pacino, think about it. But there exists the capability of Robotsky's to experience that friendship. And then obviously with reconnaissance as well.
Yeah.
That
Well, and that's something I didn't realize until this time that when he calls the Rock Agent Stone at the end, not only is it a pun, but it's because the character was Agent Stone. I didn't realize that
right.
until I watched that this time. I don't know how I missed that. I was just too caught up in the Rock reconnaissance, I guess. The Rock.
The Rock Vival?
Well, I was gonna try to come up with the Renaissance pun with Rock. Rockin' and Sans.
Rocks with Rocky and Rocks on the Bullwinkle.
Yeah, Yep,
Barring barometric boys.
something like that.
But yeah, so I think, and I think that points to the idea of not being alone too with the reconnaissance thing. Is that like, obviously Robotsky's is crazy at this point,
Yeah.
but there he still exists, in his sane mind. He has just been consumed with like beating Sonic.
Well, that's what I was about to say, and I think the fact that he lost in this movie is what's going to send him down the spiral of madness that will turn him into the Robotnik from like the video games
Right.
that we will see in the second movie.
Turn into Eggman.
Yes.
Which the way that it was super forced, but it was super funny. The way that
When Sonic just calls him Eggman.
Yeah. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. But going back to emotions for a bit, I think that's kind of like the core of this movie. Is I think that whenever Sonic gets like all electric and stuff, it's not because he was going like super fast or whatever. It's because he gets really emotional.
You are absolutely right, and anyone who says anything else is wrong.
Well, I can cite the examples. Whoa,
that
is
bright.
really bright. It's on the lowest level. I would not recommend it.
There were here we go. Wait, no, never mind. Yes, power of threes, baby.
Yeah, there are three. So like the first time he uses it,
is that why there are 3 stars on your notes?
No, that was just to make sure I knew to say that.
Okay.
The first time happens at the baseball field, which we talked about because that's when he makes all the power goes out. But the reason he gets electric is at the baseball field is because that's the first time he realizes that he'll always be alone.
Sonic is Blue Hulk.
And okay. And then the second time it happens is when they're in the car. And this is when I like realize that it's not his speed that's doing it. Because Sonic is like stationary when this happens. And it's when Robotnik is chasing them with the eggs that get smaller and smaller, like the Russian nesting eggs. And then Tom tells Sonic that he's going to leave Green Hills. And then Sonic gets mad at him because he's like, well, you can't leave Green Hills. That's your home. They love you. But the deeper thing there is that by Tom leaving Green Hills, Sonic is reminded that he was forced to leave the only home he had ever known by Long Claw in the beginning. And then that's why he goes all electric there. And then the final time is at the end of the movie, and this is when Sonic is knocked out because he's like been running away from Eggman the whole time.
And Crazy Carl has a chainsaw.
Yes, Crazy Carl does have a chainsaw, and nobody likes that. Then I don't remember what
you said it in the recap.
Robotnik says to him, but then Tom says his name was Sonic. This was his home, and he was my friend.
Bro, and then oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps.
And then Sonic's...
This was such a cool scene in the movie.
It almost made me cry when I was watching it.
In the theaters. It was so cool. Not as cool as, spoilers, as when Captain America got Thor's hammer. But it was up there because it was such a powerful like moment. Because you really do, Sonic's not dead.
Yeah.
But he's down and out.
Well, like Sonic the Dead Hog.
Sonic is 420 blaze it. Sonic is down and out. It's 420 on the clock is why I said that.
Okay.
Sonic is down and out, man. And then we all saw this coming, that Tom, whose Dinda calls him Tim, is like, he's our friend. And then Sonic just...
At the end of this episode, I'll tell you what time you need to start the episode so you can hit 420 when Jake says 420 blaze it. Right, so you'll have to listen to the whole episode all over again to get that timing right.
But it was just so cool, and then like the lightning. Oh god, sorry. Go back to what you were saying.
And then so I would say that like at that moment is when Sonic is the most powerful,
right?
Like lightning and whatever, because that's when he's like bing 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 punching Eggman and stuff. And then the only other thing I had written down was in that moment by saying those simple words, Tom has given Sonic everything he's ever wanted.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, like, not only is it the climax of, like, the story because Sonic is punching Eggman or whatever, but it's also the climax of Sonic's emotional journey throughout the movie.
Okay, have you watched the short screenplay video yet?
No.
Okay, so I think it's Michael Arndt. He was a writer for Pixar?
I don't know.
Or something? I don't remember. Anyway, he has a video out. I think it's on Vimeo. I don't think it's on YouTube. Called The Good, the Bad, and the Insanely Great. And it's talking about endings. And he proposes that there are not two, the plot, or I forget what he called it. The external conflict, the internal conflict. There's also a philosophical conflict. Um, and he also says that these insanely great endings happen within 45 seconds. So we have the external conflict, right? Is Eggman Robotsky's trying to, capture Sonic or kill him, take Sonic's power.
Yeah.
Then we have the emotional conflict, which is, Sonic wanting a friend. So what is the philosophical conflict in this film?
Well, I mean, I think it would just like be what you just said was the internal conflict.
So what's the emotional conflict then? Because in order for this to be an insanely great ending, there needs to be one the thematic conflict.
Not being alone.
No, that's the emotional one.
Well, I don't
Oh,
know.
you know what it is? You know what it is? It is like you said, living your life. It is Tom accepting that he belongs in Green Hills. Thomas, this is an insanely great ending. Robotsky's is defeated. External conflict checked. There's the emotional conflict. Sonic wanting to not be alone. Check. The philosophical conflict. Being okay. Not being okay. Embracing the life that you live. Check. Thomas, this is an insanely great ending. This movie is fantastic.
Okay.
I know I just went on a rant right there, but dang, this movie's so good. All right, back to what you were saying.
So
Oh,
that was
I agree with
that was
you.
it.
I agree with you 100%. And I think let's go back to Frozen, the original Frozen movie. Is that the same kind of problem is brought about there? Is that Elsa's powers are awakened when she gets super emotional, and they're off the hook and everything. And then when she learns how to control it, they are stronger and more controlled. And that's the same as that thing that happens here with Sonic. Is that it's out of control because he can't, he doesn't have a hold onto his feelings, and these negative feelings are being sent out as energy waves. But by the end of the movie, he has what he wanted, like you said, but it is a positive uh, energy that is released.
It's electric. Boogie woogie woogie.
Do the electric slide. Ooh.
Sonic slide, more like it. Okay, I think I have more notes, but I think like the gist of everything I had to say was said. There is one point I want to make though, and it's when they're like trying to figure out how to get to the roof of the building, and Tom says, "Time for me to abuse the power I have," and that was a very like interesting and out of left field line in this
Yeah.
movie. I feel like because it implies that it's only a matter of time before a person in a position of power abuses that power, and like that's just like such a I don't know if politically charged is the right term, but that's such a like statement that I was not expecting to be made in this movie, and it kind of just came out of nowhere.
It was funny.
It was, but then they're like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't
I
know.
didn't think about that much. So maybe I will think about it and I'll get back to you. Same question. Same for the what is speed's purpose thing.
What is the meaning of speed?
So we've talked about Sonic and Roboski's being doubles, but I want to take a look at Tom too for a second. Is that Tom offers what seems to be a medium of these two extremes, but he's also a double for each of the characters, Roboski's and Sonic. So Sonic and Roboski's are doubles, but Tom is Sonic's double, and Tom is also Robotsky's double.
How?
So, or maybe not. Maybe not double is the right word. Maybe like a, I don't know. Kind of like a branching point of it, like a, not the opposite either, but they are a way. It's a way for Robotsky's and Sonic to actualize and externalize their problems. So like Robotsky's cares too much for power. He cares too much about receiving that power. And many times Tom is just like, so what? Like when Robotsky's first comes to the house, he's like, I have a degree. You do the voice, you do it
Wait,
better.
Robotnik?
Yeah.
Well, what does he say?
You say, I have 5 degrees.
I have 5 degrees.
There we go. And Tom's like, "Hey, brah, yeah, my friend Billy, he does the generator thing, so I'd know if there was something wrong." Yeah. And to this, Robotsky's is like, "I'm smart,"
I'm smart.
and it is this way to attack their problems that we've already talked about in this film. Their emotional ones we talked about, and then with Sonic, it isn't necessarily a problem, but it is like the opposite of what he's trying to, you know, achieve. Tom is like, "Hey, bro, I'm ready to get out of here. You know, move to San Fran, become a big old hero." And Sonic is like, "No, stay here. I like it here. This is where my people is." So to each of those characters, there's like a. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay. I don't know how to word that better, but that's you heard what I said.
I think what you're trying to get at is that like Tom has the same problems as Robotnik and Sonic, but he's like so lackadaisical about them that they never really like fully realize to him.
Maybe, but then it offers an external insight into
His
those
psyche,
problems. Well, Robotnik's and Sonic's psyche,
psyche,
Sonic-y, Synecdoche, if you know what that is,
New
big brain.
York.
New York. I think that's for the most part. What I got? Better out than in.
You good?
Oh,
I think you're losing.
oh God, that was nasty. That was not peanut butter. Dang, I kind of want some bread right now.
Well, it's too late. I already ate it all.
I don't have any bread here either. Oh, back to the idea of like trying to cram in a bunch of stuff. When Sonic is like, "Guy got here, coming to get me."
And then he like picks up a bunch of random things.
Yeah,
around
he's
his
like, but
room.
he says, "Essential items only."
Yeah.
And then he's like, hold on, keep talking.
Keep talking
Yeah.
about what?
Just keep talking.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about, but
Hold on, just keep going.
in this scene, I did write down rule number 32: enjoy the little things, because that's
Nice.
one of my favorite movies is Zombieland, and that's one of my favorite parts of that movie when oh shoot, what's his name? Columbus realizes that
Okay, you can stop now. He's like, "I gotta get all things." He's like, "Obtuse, rubber, goose, green, moose, clover, juice, chest, steak, particular, orange, fine, chocolate."
that is not from this movie.
Yeah, it is because he's saying all the things that he's got to get.
In Zombieland, that's
That was Fairly Odd Parents, by the way.
that's the point of the movie where Columbus
That's
realizes
number 2, right?
what?
Is that number 1?
What?
Number
What are you talking about?
Number 1 and number 2.
That's the first one.
Okay.
It's when Columbus realizes that survival. Who cares if you survive? It doesn't matter if you're surviving, if you're not really living, if you're not taking in all that life has to offer.
Mm.
And I think that's like the point of this movie is friends and whatever, but what's the point of surviving if you're not truly alive?
Okay, so we're essentially saying the same thing, but just on different.
Well, no,
in different ways.
And I said that at the top of the episode. I think both of us is like we're both on the same page this time.
Well, we're both in the same page, but I'm on one side of the page and you're on the other.
Okay.
Like you know how like a book has 2 pages?
That's too metaphorical.
Or the books. But I'm on one side, you're on the other. It's the same side of the coin, but you're the text and I'm the face. If that makes sense. So we're not. It's like a double-edged sword, but we're the same double edge. We're the same edge. But you're the part that's sharp, and I'm the part that's not.
I have no idea what you're talking about anymore.
What's another thing that has 2?
I don't know.
We're in the same drawer, but you're the socks and I'm the underwear.
Okay. I don't even know what that means.
Think about it. So we're saying the same thing, but we're not. But like different. I'm saying savor it, and you're saying live it. Hence, same drawer, different socks.
Okay.
We're the same pair of socks, but you're
starting to confuse
You're
me
the
now.
left sock and I'm the right sock.
I really don't understand.
Think about that.
Anymore.
We're the same pair of socks. We're the same pair of pants, but I'm one pant leg and you're the other. with the
Okay.
same nose, but you're one nostril and I'm the other.
You're just gonna keep listing things that have one thing but another thing.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, you're not like the other.
No, that's because
But
no,
no.
exactly.
Doesn't that usually imply there's three things though?
Not necessarily.
Because one of them is not like the other. But if there's only two, then both of them are not like the other.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because one is one and the other is the one other.
And one is the loneliest number.
Whoa, what's happening? No. Java SC. Ooh, I do need to do that though. I hope that didn't. Okay, we're good.
Jake's computer just almost did a bad.
No, it did a good, but it's not time for that good yet.
Not good for us.
It's like, okay, there you go. It's like cream and sugar. You put the cream and sugar in your coffee. Both of them make it taste good, but the cream tastes one way and sugar tastes the other. I'm the cream, you're the sugar, baby.
Is that what half and half is? Or no, that's cream and milk.
What?
Right?
I don't
half
know.
And half. Like for coffee,
no,
half
and half. I think is caffeine.
Isn't that like creamer and milk?
No, maybe. No. What? Hold on.
All right, we're not even talking about Sonic anymore. Oh, okay, but
That's in Scott Pilgrim.
Something did blow up in this movie, but
half and half is an ambient to
so
yes.
It's milk and creamer, right?
No. Half whole milk. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I don't think any person blew up.
Well, hold on. What would you classify Sonic's? I'm alone. Pew!
I don't know. He didn't blow up.
You know what would be cool?
Like physically.
You know what would be really cool?
What? If they made a second one?
Yes, that would also be really cool. But if when he explodes, it's the sound of Boba Fett's or Slave One's seismic charges. You know, like, bam.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they were that.
I
want to make an edit.
All right, so before we talk about that, here's my brief pitch for Sonic number 2. All right, what it needs to be is like Eggman, in trying to get home, has slowly like taken over other planets, and then Tails is like, Sonic, we gotta go get the other planets back, and Sonic's like, okay. So it's like a road trip movie, but they're going from planet to planet, and at each planet they meet up with a Sonic character.
Yo, that'd be dope. Who's the Sonic? So obviously Tails, he's the first one. Yeah. Knuckles
and Amy. And there's also characters like Big the Cat and Shadow and Rogue the Bat, I think.
Dude, I hope he gets all the gems. That'd be awesome.
And he goes supersonic.
And that's how it happens, too. He's trying to get the gems, and there's the gem on the Earth, but there's one on the Mushroom Planet, too.
Yep. Wait, maybe do we know that Tails is looking for Sonic? Maybe Tails is looking for a gem.
Hold on. That's true. Hold on. Let's look at this. Sonic the Hedgehog after credits. Sonic the Hedge. How do you spell hedge? Hedge.
So Sonic did blow up. So I think.
Well, he blew up 3 times too.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He went
electric 3 times. He never blew up though.
I mean, he went.
What are you trying to find? No, but he didn't. So that thing, that the egg thing blew up, but like nobody.
Oh, here we go. This
really got hurt.
All right, shut up.
We're gonna get copyright struck.
This is really cool.
Is it?
Yeah, but his name isn't Tails yet. It's like Kevin or something.
Kevin?
Where does he come from? Dude, look at that.
If these readings are accurate, he's here.
See?
Found him.
It's got to be Sonic.
Just hope I'm not too late.
Not necessarily. You can talk about inanimate objects with genders.
Dude, that's so cool.
That's enough of that. Okay, but Sonic did not actually blow up, so I don't know.
A sequel to the Sonic the Hedgehog.
If I can give it more than a 1.
What?
Well, I don't remember what your rules for the thing are, because I feel like I would give it a 2 based on my rules, but you're always like, no, it's too high. So I think it's a 1.
No, I think this is at least a 3.
A 3?
Yes.
No.
Because Sonic goes,
but he doesn't.
3 times. Yes, he does.
So he doesn't blow up. He's not dead.
All right, let's look this up. Sonic explodes.
That's not going to give you what you want.
I think you're wrong. Look, Sonic the Hedgehog 2020 energy surge parenthetical explosion.
Yeah, but he didn't blow up.
But it's an explosion.
You know, he has to blow up.
Sonic gets a chili dog when his belly gets exploded.
That's what happened to his fur.
Exploded.
Yeah.
So there's 4. His stomach goes
No.
Krakatoa.
I'm giving it a 1.
I'm giving it a 3. That makes it a 2.
Okay.
Look, there you're blowing up again. 2 out of 5. I think that it should be higher than that, but you know, this is a podcast about compromises. You know,
Say la vie.
Carpe diem. What's the one on the dollar? What's the one on the
Sic
flag?
mundus est.
Is that it?
I don't know.
There
In
you
God
go.
we trust. Is that what you're
There's
talking
another
about?
one. What's another Latin quote?
Well, say la vie is French.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
We'll think about it for a second. Here we go. Okay, we'll look up French ones. Au revoir.
That means
There you go.
goodbye.
Famous French quotes. What does the Transformers say? In
Sacre bleu! That's what they say. They say.
Ooh, here we go. English. Wait, no, I don't want that actually. Time will tell. Who's gonna make the man? Who's not?
Can we let the people go?
Oh, here we go. Quand on passe la renommée, il faut aimer ce qu'on a. That means
Bless you.
when you don't have what you love, you have to love what you have. And that's what this movie's about.
Okay.
That's pretty good, right?
Okay.
All right, we can let him go now.
All right. We have Twitter
Pacino Pod.
at Pacino Pod.
At Pacino Pod.
And we have an email.
That's for your moms and dads. What else can we put on there this week?
I don't know.
How do you feel about the original Sonic design? No,
Are
you
you
know what? No.
asking me?
Tweet us at Pacino Pod, moms and dads. Also, your favorite Sonic meme. PacinoPodcast@gmail.com. I already said it in the earlier episode, but I don't remember, so I'm not gonna say it again.
Okay.
And with that, all you shaggy goose egg boys, I leave you with this.
Stout and sauerkraut.
Well, no, that's not. But you already said it, so I have to say it's stout and sauerkraut, I guess. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. I'm waiting for you to stop me. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew. Thomas? Thomas? Bing, 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 pew, 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 pew.